Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Mitchell's Logistics Corner, where we bring you real-time information of what's going on in today's logistics industry. As you guys know, I posted a survey to see what port you guys would like to see, and the one that won was the Port of Gustav, which is here in St. Bart's. I am here in the island of St. Bart's for the next 2 weeks, learning more about how the island works and how logistics works, and as well as how the port imports its goods and distributes them all over this paradise island. But let's start off with what's really important, which is today's ocean freight rates. Ocean freight rates are becoming completely out of whack. I mean, so bad that I've had shippers sending me emails that they're paying over $30,000 for a 40-foot container from Asia into the East and West Coast. Even going into areas into like Dallas, Chicago, we're looking at over $30,000. Now, the question is it really the steamship lines that are making this money, or is it some of these freight forwarders? What you need to do is send me an email and I'll send you some information of what's going on in today's current market if you were to work with an agent overseas. So we're looking at about, for let's say Maersk is paying from the Shanghai to LAX. Typically, if you go through an agent overseas, it's about $15,500 for a 40-foot container. CMA from Ningbo to LAX, it's about $18,000 40-foot container. And from Shanghai to Chicago, you're looking at about $19,000 to $23,000 for a container. Guys, if this isn't highway robbery, I don't know what is. I cannot figure out how the container market is being regulated. The FMC is still doing zero. Now, I know that some of you disagree with me about what the FMC does, but I'm telling you, the FMC must regulate some of the lanes that are going on. They may not be able to regulate the pricing, but if there's certain trade lanes that trade with the United States, the Federal Maritime Commission must step in so that we do not destroy our market completely. I've also got a lot of information from some of these manufacturers, the smaller ones, that are just losing so much money. They're about to go bust because they can't afford the shipping costs. This is a big problem. We have to keep pushing and pushing. I have read many articles of all these lawsuits against the steamship lines. We'll see what happens. But when you're making billions and billions of dollars in profit, you have a lot of money to spend on lawyers. So I'm sure this thing could just last forever. But I don't know. But this is crazy. To pay over $30,000 for a 40-foot container out of Asia is beyond me. But again, you're the fools that are paying it. That's your problem. So hopefully you guys start doing something about it and speak out and be more proactive. Now, when it comes to air freight rates, as you know, the full screening has gone into effect. Now, there is still delays, but the issue that we're also having is not just the delay in flights. There's just not enough people. We don't have enough people in our industry to help us with these imports. The issue keeps happening, and it's getting worse and worse. Our infrastructure is horrible, and we do nothing. Typical Americans that we are. We don't do anything. We just keep... Oh, it's so frustrating. All right, now a lot of you guys also noticed that I've posted a couple of videos of my visit to the Port of Savannah. I haven't had enough time to put all the clips together, but I promise you when I get back home, I will put something together on the Port of Savannah. The Port of Savannah was actually one of the most interesting ports that I've ever been to because I'm going to tell you, it's nonstop all the time. The only problem is that there are no chassis. There's bad equipment, and it's just terrible. But you'll see more and more on the videos that I post about the Port of Savannah. I'm also going to try to go down to the traffic club down in Savannah to see what they have to say. I believe it's on August 18th, and I return back stateside on the 14th or the 15th. I'm not sure, but I'm going to try to make it. So, Susan, if you're down there, I promise I'll try my hardest to make it back to Savannah. But Savannah is such a crucial port for us as well. It was supposed to alleviate some of the congestion from the East and West Coast, but now they're just bypassing that one as well and going to other smaller ports. Guys, we have a really big problem here with the equipment, not enough truckers. There's tons of truckers that are taking DOs and then last minute they cancel, they don't show up, there's excuses. It's just a disaster, and I'm hoping it'll get better. Steamship lines, again, I posted on an article that I believe, I'm not sure if it was the BNSF or the NSF or the Norfolk Southern, that is now implementing that you only get one 24-hour period of free charges before you start paying demurrage. Remember what I said, demurrage was storage? That's right. Typically, some carriers gave 3 to 5 days of demurrage. Now, One. After that, 1 to 3 days, it's $150. 4 days, I believe it's about $250 to $300, and anything over 5 days, you're paying $400 to $500 a day, guys. And if we don't have truckers to move it, guess who's paying it? And I have seen many, many articles of companies starting to say, hey, listen, we just simply can't afford. When is this going to end? I don't know. My question is, when are we going to start having our own steamship lines in the United States so that we can have a little bit of a say in what the pricing is? I don't know. Let's see here. What else do we got? Okay. Also, I remember posting a video where I said that I mentioned that there are CFOs that don't even look at profits. Let me correct myself. Every CEO looks at profits, right? But what I was trying to say was a lot of these tech companies that are coming into logistics don't care about profits. I know this for a fact. I had one call me the other day and ask me if I would like to join their team and help them sell their product to the market. And I asked him, well, okay, but how does the bonus and commission? He goes, I don't care about profits. I just want market share so that I could sell to a company like Flexport. This is how crazy this is. These tech companies are just mind-blowing. They're just coming in. There's hundreds of them. They just keep coming and coming, and they don't care. They'll keep lowering prices. All they want is market share. So make sure that if you start working with a company with technology and logistics, you know and understand who the company is and what they do, and try to research, because next thing you know, you're working with them, they're fully integrated, and poof, they're gone, and it's a mess. So I'd be very, very careful about that. Also, I just also saw an article that was mind-blowing about Maersk. Maersk Sealand, there's rumor that might be wanting to purchase or acquire C.H. Robinson. That is right, C.H. Robinson. You know, American Backhaulers that sold to C.H. Robinson became the largest broker and domestic trucker in the country. It is insane. It's insane. And what did I tell you guys a couple of weeks ago? What did I tell you? Maersk, Sealand, you know, DSV, Panalpina. I'm telling you, these steamship lines are just preparing. It's unbelievable. And I was the first one to tell you that this is going to happen. I'm telling you guys, the market is becoming a complete disaster, and we're destroying the logistics industry. So all the small players that want to compete in logistics are slowly getting kicked out of the market. And if you start looking at companies like AIT and DSV, they're still buying. They're buying more and more companies. It's so funny. What happened to sales? I look at these companies and they have these enormous sales teams. What is there to sell? You're buying everything. There's no, I mean, I would love to sit down with one of you big CEOs and do a little bit of a conversation and see what is it that your sales team does. I mean, it's crazy. What do you need a sales team if all you're doing is buying? And it's so foolish. I mean, it's amazing. And the worst thing about it is that there's no sense or reasoning for anything. It's just so sad in our industry. But what I have seen is a lot of people are very concerned whether to even stay in our industry. And that's the biggest challenge. We don't have enough people. But why are you going to come into an industry that's so broken? You know, there's so many issues that we have. I'm hoping that we all come together soon and start making a stand on these steamship lines, because if not, I'm telling you guys, the margins for the domestic truckers are just not going to be there. I mean, it's just going to be a complete disaster, guys. So I'm hoping we keep pushing. And again, guys, still, if you have any questions, let me know. Send me any messages. I might be a little bit delayed on the response, as this is a pretty nice island to just chill and relax. But I promise you guys, this week I will go down to the Port of Gustav and give you guys a full tour of it. All right, guys. Well, sorry this is a short one, but it is hot as heck out here, and I got to get down to Colombier. So I will see you guys on the next episode of Mitchell's Logistics Corner, where we bring you real-time information of what's going on in today's logistics industry. Thanks, and be well.